before I begin, the debate today is not for school and against school. I have been waiting to get that out for the past hour. Please. Now, being the last speaker from the proposition, I'll be expected to speak about the speeches and not the motion. So that will be exactly what I am doing. The motion today. Every single speaker who came before me sided on one side of the motion. That is either, no, schools give complete character development, or no, school gives complete marks, they give no character development. But the debate today lies in the grey area, because the motion today states that schools support or give or are mainly made for scoring marks, not for building character. It does not say that schools are places such that they are incapable of building any sort of character. So the point today lies is that while we give our preference to the academic side, character building is also a priority but is below our academic preferences. Now, let me come down to the second speaker who mentioned preparation for exams. Preparation for exams keeps the same aim. Scoring marks, as is the main aim that has been demonstrated in the motion, keeps the same. The character change, the development that we speak about today is like an invisible guardian. A Nazi and the person who grew up to be a non-Nazi went to the same school, ladies and gentlemen. But the only reason that they have different ideologies later in life is due to their personal individualism. Or that school would have produced only Nazis or only non-Nazis. And therefore, schools are not to be blamed over here. The personal ideologies of the persons are the ones that is to be counted or that is to be held accountable. The way we approach the trophies, the way we win those trophies, that defines our character and that basically leads to our character development. Now, another point that I believe that none of the speakers has touched yet is considering the grassroots level, the government schools. Do you think that the child of a daily wage worker actually goes to school to bond with his or her friends? They go to school to play with the first thing in their mind? No. The first thing that comes in their mind when they step within that institution is that they have to excel in that particular field. Not even excel, get some sort of grades, get a job later in life so that they can give themselves, their own children and their own parents a much, much better future than they had previously imagined. The problem here lies in the twisting of the definition and the purpose of schooling itself. Because schools themselves entitle academic purposes in the beginning and then everything else in the later positions. But what the modern world has done has caused the students to distract their focus from their original side to the rest and thereby leading to much, much lower productivity levels. Hence, I would like to end my speech by saying that the proposition today, unlike as the other speaker said, does not say schools, bad, nothing. They do no shit except take money from us. That is not what we are trying to prove. The only thing that we try to prove today is that schools provide us with both. But the academic priorities of a particular student should be higher than the priorities that they set aside for their character development.
The character development plays a part in allowing the pursuit of marks to remain constant. It plays a part with instilling within us the values that enable us to focus on our job and not to get distracted, not to get disheartened. So how do you justify that sort of binary you're drawing between the two? How do you justify?
Firstly, I'm glad that you asked this question because I included it in my speech and I had to remove it because of the time constraint. Alright, so if someone told you that you have to score good marks else you will fail your midterms and you won't be promoted to the next year and your parents will be called to school. And if someone told you in order to make your character better you actually need to score marks. Now I will ask you which will have more immediate effect. The phrase that I use, guardian angel, is like an invisible catalyst that we use over here because it further speeds up the process, the reaction that we use in order to reach to our goal.
Do you think the other institution would prioritize the marks or the character certificate? They'll say that the person is fighting. Why do we take that person in the school? Even if he has scored 95+%. Can you justify this statement?
I justify the points that you said were wrong in my speech. I would like to justify what was wrong with your question. Because as I said in the beginning, today the debate is about how we perceive what schools amount to us instead of saying what schools actually do. So what the school would do is upon the discretion of the school, right? Because We are not the members of the school. The actual members of the school who decide who is to be let in or who is to be let out depends upon a board of trustees who is outside. So it is not what the school is expected to do. It is what we expect of the school.